What's going on, guys? Me breaking down UFC 298 today. Quick little recap from last weekend's card. Cashed on Rodolfo Vieira moneyline, cashed on his sub at plus 200, and also hit his first round sub at plus 500. Our next bet was Carlos Pratis, and a bit sweaty, but at the end of the day, Giles is a flake, and we cashed pretty big there. Finally, we had Dan Ige moneyline and Dan Ige KO. I was surprised by the first round knockout, but as we said, like Fili is chinny and he is not defensively sound. So nice win for Ige there. And we had a good card, $3,100 in tracked profit, 6-0 on our free picks we put out. So onto this card, guys. The first fight I'm going to break down is Rogerio de Lima versus Justin Tafa. Yeah, it looks like the public dog of the week is Justin Tafa moneyline. And I get that De Lima coming off the flying knee, knockout from Lewis is a concern, the teeth being loose and all that. But historically, guys, like De Lima has had a 9-year UFC career and his chin's never been cracked. And even in that fight, Lewis landed a flush flying knee and didn't put him out cold. I get the concerns, but I'm not going to sit here and say that, the guy doesn't have a chin at all. He's historically eaten a ton of shots and been okay. Now, that's definitely baked into the line here. If you're playing Tafa, it's KO or bust. I just think that De Lima has so many advantages and paths here, He can win the volume and decision. He can land the leg kicks. He has all the grappling upside. And I think, it's heavyweight. Obviously, Tafa can land a big uppercut early or something. But I think even if he does, I don't think it's going to put De Lima out. And I think when he does get hit, it's just more of a reason to work the grappling. I'm pretty confident in De Lima. Guys, Tafa's wins are over like Harry Hunsucker, Austin Lane. He lost a volume decision to Jared Vanderaa, who went 1-6 in the UFC. I'm just not that high on Tafa, his skill, and it's heavyweight, so it doesn't really matter. Anything can happen. But I think De Lima is a clear side here at minus 140. I played the money line, and then I'm also going to take a shot on the plus 600 decision. If this goes to round 2, both guys historically don't have the greatest gas tank. It can get really sloppy, and if De Lima works in the grappling, I think he can, just sit on top or control him on the fence and work his way to a unanimous or 2-1 decision. So I'm playing De Lima here. Like I said, money line and the decision prop. Next fight is going to be Amanda Lemos and Mackenzie Dern. I'm playing Lemos here. Yeah, I got to do it. So the line movement's concerning. Lemos opened up at around minus 270, and it's been bought back down to, I got it at minus 125. I want to say she's like minus 130. On the Dern side, I think the last fight really showcased just all the concerns that she has in her game. She looked improved against Angela Hill with the striking after she had a couple camps with Jason Perillo. But that last fight, man, without Perillo in the corner, without him coaching, it was probably the worst defensive striking I've ever seen at the UFC level. She was just chin straight up in the air, winging combos with no concern. She had her eyes closed at one point. She's against the fence, just this. It was a terrible look. If you haven't watched that fight, please watch it. Andrade knocked her down twice in the first round. I think they only scored one of them, but the round ends and she goes through her corner with her new coach and her dad in there, and they're like, yeah, good round, Mackenzie, you won that. It's I don't even know who she's training with. I don't really trust. She's making improvements at this point. And defensively, she got knocked down 5 times against Andrade. She looks completely lost in the feet. And I get the concern with Lemos is the Weili fight. Now, that's the champ, number one. I don't think Weili's the highest level grappler ever, but she's good enough. And she certainly was able to control Lemos on the ground for 20 minutes of that fight, probably. Now, on the Dern side, guys, she's not a good offensive wrestler. I think her best chance here is to pull guard. And I'm just going to say this. If Dern doesn't get into a grappling position in the first minute 30, I just think Lemos is gonna just tee off, land some really, really big shots. He's got that good knee up the middle too. If Dern doesn't set up her takedowns, just like shoots recklessly. Yeah, honestly, guys, I think it's a pretty confident spot on Lemos. I hit her money line to win 500, and then I also got that Lemos opener KO at plus 290. Definitely line came down a ton. I'm seeing plus 160 now. I wouldn't really run to bet that. But yeah, I'm happy with my position. Like I said, we got 500-ish on the money line, then another 175 on the KO prop. Pretty confident pick there. Next fight up is going to be Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. So Sunday night, I hit Anthony Hernandez. I just finished tape. I was watching the line at like minus 170. Saw it hit 185, and I played it. I thought it would get steamed, but holy shit, we're at minus 255 fluffy now. I can't suggest anyone touch that money line. I mean, look, I think the advantages are pretty clear for Fluffy. He has absurd cardio, absurd pace, good chain wrestling. If he puts you down, he'll break you. All things that are on the Kopylov side, like worrying for a guy coming on short notice. It's just a binary fight. Like, if Fluffy gets a takedown round one, it's not a wrap, but I think he's going to control him, be able to wear on his gas tank. You know, he moves, transitions so well from submission to ground and pound to like position. He's so clean, man, on the ground. And I know Kopylov's been in Dagestan, so there's a ton of unknowns, but what I do know is a Duraev fight. Guy looked lost off his back. Duraev immediately got to mount, and the Roberson fight too is a concern, obviously, for Kopylov. Now they're 3+ years ago, so how much can we equate that now? I don't know. I'm probably going to arb out of my spot. Like I said, I like the 185 number, but it's even there. I'm still worried about Kopylov knockout. Like, this guy is, he's on a tear for a reason. The guy is really, really clean, got nice body kicks, but I think the cardio is very concerning for Kopylov, especially on short notice. I think Fluffy is the pick. I would not touch minus 255. Next fight is going to be Merab versus Henry Cejudo. I played Merab back in December for about $500 at minus 170. I ended up cashing that bet out like a week later. The reasoning, I just, at a high clip, this fight goes to decision. The books are pricing it about 73% implied it goes. So I don't really trust Saltamato and Chris Lee. I don't really want to be laying chalk there. So I'm passing on a money line here. In terms of like value, I think if you're playing Merab, the Merab decision at Pick'em isn't the worst look. I mean, yeah, you would like a plus number there, but it's the most likely scenario. Now, on the Henry side, if you like Henry, I think you should play him by split decision. It's plus 1,100 right now, and I know that like it's going to be very hard to make an argument for Henry to win this fight. I don't really think he knocks Merab out. He could land a flying knee, maybe a head kick, but it's doubtful. I think when this fight, like you're saying, it's 70%-ish to go, the distance. And if we look at spreads, Henry plus 3.5 for him to win a round on every judge's scorecard is around minus 190. So he's favored to win a round, and it's favored to go to a decision. Is it possible that Henry's able to sprawl, defend the takedowns, land some big shots, maybe offensively wrestle, and steal a round? Yes, like that's a real possibility. I think Merab is going to win, guys. I fully think that. I think Merab can even win a striking fight with Henry, but it'll be close. It's not going to be like a, Merab 30-25's this dude. Like, it should be close, and with how this fight's supposed to play out, like I said, very likely to go to decision. I think Henry split at plus 1,100. How wrong could you really be? I got 0.2 units right now on that. And then I'm even considering the Merab decision as well, but I think the value bet of anything here is certainly Henry by split, plus 1,100 on DK. Unlikely that it happens, but I believe that's his path, so I'm going to play it. Next fight, Ian Gary versus Jeff Neal. I'll be honest, I didn't tape this fight early in the week. I didn't really want to parlay up Ian Gary money line, so I wasn't really interested. I will say, I still haven't taped it, but I'm starting to think I'm going to end up with a Jeff Neal knockout bet. The reason being, so I think Gary here, we all saw Wonder Boy's performance over Jeff Neal. And I think Gary is going to be a much better overall striker, has so much more kicks, feints, just movement, footwork. Like, Gary's really good, man. Like, he really, really is. He's very clean on the feet. But usually, round 2, round 3, he's not as defensively sound. Like, part of it is he's just confident. He's landing while he's winning the fight. But also part of that's being tired. And your footwork, at some point it does drop off in the fight. And Jeff Neal can crack. He can certainly crack. I didn't get to it yet. I got to tape this fight, but I am considering the KO shot on Jeff Neal. Yeah, man, I'm not running to lay Gary minus 245 right now. I'll pass. Next fight, Robert Whitaker and Paulo Costa. Another fight, I will admit, I have not taped it yet, but this line's getting a little wide, man. Yeah, sure, minus 200, Robert Whitaker, sure. But he's sitting 255 right now. And like I said, I got to tape it. It wasn't a fight I was going to bet. But if Paulo Costa closes as a plus 260, 270 dog, I'll get there. I'll probably get there. For anyone, guys, I know it may seem like the play this weekend. I would not parlay Robert Whitaker, Ian Gary, Merab, and Fluffy. like, please don't put the square parlay in your picks. There's other value on this card. So next up, it's the main event, Ilya Topuria versus Alexander Volkanovski. Current line I'm seeing is minus 125 Volk, plus 105 on Topuria. This is a hard fight to cap, I'm going to be honest. I think Volk has all the tools here. Like, obviously, this is the greatest 145er we've ever seen, possibly the best cage fighter I've ever seen. So skilled in every aspect of the game, and just so sophisticated too. Like, talk about like just elite in every aspect. I don't know. I love Volk as a fighter, but there's concerns. There's certainly concerns. 3.5 months off a knockout is concerning for any fighter, especially when you consider that you go on this I don't even know how many 8-year, 7-year run where you're just on top of the world. Like your confidence couldn't be higher. You never know how someone's going to respond coming back from that. Now, this fight though, I do think Volk is going to be the clear minute winner. I think he can have the way more volume in this fight. I think he's going to have Topuria's number early. I know Volk has watched every second of every Topuria fight and broken it down and made a game plan. So I do think that Volk is going to be the clear minute winner early. I'll give him round 1 pretty high, round 2 even pretty high. But that's where I think the issue arises is Topuria, his boxing is so crisp, so clean, so powerful and explosive. I think Volk, as I said, he's going to win that round 1, that round 2, I think. He's going to have the volume, he's going to have the leg kicks there, maybe even some takedowns. Have Topuria questioning, what's coming next. This guy's so active, he's so forward, but I think at some point, guys, I hate to say it, I hate to be the one, but I think Topuria can knock him out, and I think it's kind of like a comeback knockout here. Like I said, I think for Topuria, let's talk about like his his win paths here. So I don't really think Topuria wrestles early. That would work too much on his gas tank. So, and we all know too, Volk defensively on the ground is elite. He's impossible to submit. Like is there a chance that Topuria could? Yeah, but it's probably a club and sub, and he doesn't go for club and subs. When Topuria hurts you, man, he's jumping on top and trying to like put your lights out. So I think if he did hurt Volk, he wouldn't chase the sub. I think he would go for the knockout. And in terms of decision, I don't really see a world where, I mean, look, it's possible. On damage, technically Topuria can win a decision if he's hurting and just beating up Volk out there. I don't think that happens. I think if this goes a full 5, Topuria got his leg absolutely chewed to shreds. Volk probably worked in wrestling. He probably just humbled the prospect. So I think Topuria, if you're playing money line, I don't know. I wouldn't touch Topuria money line. I wouldn't touch even Volk money line. I'm a little concerned there, like I mentioned. I think the play is Topuria knockout. Like I said, I think Volk can definitely win the decision, but I just have concerns. I have concerns at 35. I don't love, how quick this turnaround is, and I think Topuria is going to be, he's the younger, the hungrier, and he's going to be the hardest puncher that Volk's ever faced at 145. So I don't love it, but I think at the number of plus 360, it's the value here. So I'm playing Topuria KO, 0.8 units on plus 360. Topuria KO, round 234, plus 700. And Topuria KO, 345, plus, I want to say 950. Like I said, I would love for Volk to prove me wrong, but I don't really see much value on either money line. I think pick'ems and this close line's accurate. I think the most EV option available is Topuria knockout. If you like the video, guys, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe. Let's make some money this weekend, and I will get a video up. Probably, we'll start doing Tuesdays. Took a little more time this week, but appreciate you guys. Let's make some money.